All right, welcome. Today, we are jumping right into Friar Lawrence's cell to break down one single scene from Romeo and Juliet that honestly sets the entire tragedy in motion. Let's get into it. So the scene opens with Friar Lawrence, and he's out gathering herbs. But he's not just, gardening. He's thinking about this huge idea, this concept of duality. He's looking at the world and seeing that basically everything holds the potential for both good and evil. And this is his perfect example. He's holding a little flower, and he points out that if you use it one way, it's a medicine. It can heal. But if you use it another way, it's a deadly poison. The very same plant. It's a massive metaphor for, well, everything that's about to go wrong in this play. He pushes this idea even further. He says that even good intentions, virtue, can turn bad if they're handled the wrong way. And on the flip side, sometimes a vice can actually lead to a pretty noble outcome. The line between good and bad, it's really, really thin. And this is where he brings it all home. He says these two opposing forces, let's call them grace and will, or good and evil, they aren't just in plants. They're at war inside every single one of us. And this internal battle, well, that's what sets up the whole conflict we're about to see. So, right on cue, just as the friar's thinking about this internal war, who bursts in? Romeo, of course. The friar immediately notices he's been up all night, and like any good father figure, he assumes the obvious. Romeo's been pining over that girl, Rosalind.
But nope, Romeo hits him with a total bombshell. Rosalind, he says he's literally forgotten her name and all the heartbreak that went with it. Now, you gotta remember, just hours before this, he was sobbing over her. This is a huge pivot. And then he drops the other shoe. He's in love with someone new, Juliet. As in, a Capulet, the daughter of his family's mortal enemy. And he doesn't just ask for advice. He asks the friar to marry them that day. Talk about haste. The friar is, understandably, completely stunned. I mean, the whiplash is incredible. He's like, weren't you just crying a river over Rosalind? This lightning-fast change of heart just perfectly highlights how intense and impulsive this young love really is.
Okay, so Romeo has made his crazy, passionate plea. Now the spotlight swings over to the friar. What is this wise, cautious man gonna do? Well, his first instinct is just pure disbelief. He calls Romeo out on it right away. He basically says, look, kid, this isn't real love. This is just a crush. You're in love with how she looks, not who she is. He's that voice of adult experience trying to reason with teenage passion.
And this, right here, is the million-dollar question of the scene. The friar sees every single red flag. He knows how flaky Romeo can be. He knows marrying these two could be a catastrophe. So why in the world would he even think about saying yes? You can almost see the gears turning in his head. First, he chews Romeo out, calls him a young waverer. But then something clicks. He sees a long shot, a glimmer of an opportunity. What if this reckless marriage could actually be the one thing that stops the bloodshed between the Montagues and Capulets? And with that thought, he makes his choice. This is his huge gamble. He's hoping this one act can turn the poison of the family feud into the medicine of love. It goes right back to what he was saying about the flower at the beginning. He's taking a risk hoping that this misdeed can lead to a greater good. But even after he agrees to help, there's this one last moment where the friar's wisdom clashes right up against Romeo's impatience. This little back and forth says it all. Romeo is all, let's go, we have to do this now, and the friar just puts up a hand and says, wisely and slow. It's youth versus experience, passion versus caution, all in just a few words. And this final line, man, it just hangs in the air like a prophecy. It is one of the most powerful warnings ever written. And the irony is just crushing because the friar, the one giving this incredible advice, just agreed to a plan that sets everyone off and running way, way too fast. So we're left right back where we started. By trying to turn that poison into a medicine, was the friar making a brave, virtuous choice? Or did his good intentions, rushed and misapplied, just create an even deadlier poison for everyone? The entire tragedy really does hinge on that question.